sensors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery. So he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God.
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
The very front of the Brewers front office is on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I think it's something sort of our brand of baseball. You know, we're going to play you tough and play hard night in and night out, and we're here and we're going to fight you all 9 innings.
Brewers GM and Senior Vice President Matt Arnold is our Brewers 360 guest every Thursday morning at 8:45.
How soon do I start asking you about trades and stuff, Matt?
My phone's always on, so no.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting. While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
The mother of Sade Robinson walks in completely exhausted. It was just devastating.
Entertainment.
Actor Brad Morse.
Some people don't believe that birds are real. I'm of the belief that they're real.
And more.
The United States Army, Navy, and Marine Corps were founded in 1775. They're celebrating their 250th birthday.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. They might sip IPAs in San Diego, but in Milwaukee, we brew wins.
Watching it sail at the wall, it's way out of here. Brewers dominate by a final score of 9-1.
It's the Brewers hosting the Padres. Our Brewers radio game day coverage begins tonight at 6. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Good morning, Milwaukee. At 7 o'clock, it is currently 58 degrees. Saturday's going to be partly cloudy with some isolated showers with a high of 75 degrees. Tonight will be partly cloudy with some isolated showers early in the evening with a low of 56 degrees. And Sunday will be partly cloudy with some evening showers, a high of 74 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brenda. 2 people are dead and 4 people are in the hospital after multiple shootings occurred Friday evening. The shootings took place at around 4:10 p.m. near the corners of 46th Street and West Hampton Avenue, and 6 minutes later near the corners of 69th Street and Hampton Avenue. Victims aging 16, 22, 33, and 46 suffered non-fatal wounds and were taken to the hospital. An unidentified victim and a 23-year-old victim died. Milwaukee police are continuing their investigation as they search for unknown suspects. And while the Maxwell-Anderson verdict is in, the process is not over. Now attention turns to sentencing.
Count 1, first-degree intentional homicide, mandates life in prison.
The only question is whether Judge Laura Crivello will set a parole eligibility date. Prominent Milwaukee defense attorney Jonathan Smith discusses.
Which doesn't necessarily mean he would get paroled. It's just that on date certain in the future, is he able to apply, or is it life without parole?
Smith says either way, it's going to be a tough road for Anderson.
Whether you want to say it out loud or not, you both know that it's dark days ahead, and to members of the public, some may say good, they should be.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
And Russia has struck Ukraine's second biggest city, Kharkiv, with drones, missiles, and guided bombs, killing at least 3 people and injuring more than 20 others. BBC correspondent Paul Adams has more from Kyiv.
In about an hour and a half, in the hours just before dawn, this barrage of drones, some of these guided glide bombs, which are used a lot on the front line, and don't forget, Kharkiv is not far from the front line, and also 1 missile, all fell. We've seen reports of apartment buildings and other private homes being hit. Part of another fairly substantial countrywide assault, which also saw attacks on Kherson in the south and other parts of the country.
Coal piles that have been in the heart of downtown Green Bay for over 100 years may finally be leaving. The Brown County Board of Supervisors approved Thursday night to move a C. Rice coal pile to the Fox River Terminal north of the Leo Frigo Memorial Bridge. Green Bay City Mayor Eric Enrich tells our partners at NBC 26 he's optimistic about the deal.
You know, C. Rice and the county are going to get to terms here on the lease itself here over the next few months, and hopefully we're going to be breaking ground soon.
C. Rice also plans to move its salt and other bulk commodities to the former Pulliam Power Plant site. A leasing agreement must be signed by September in order for the deal to go through. And the Special Olympics Summer Games at the UW Whitewater is more than just celebrating the athletes. It's also about providing healthcare services. Clinical Director for Special Smiles, Stacy Rudolph, tells WTMJ it can be a challenge for this population to get dental care.
We are a connection for this community to be able to have a dental screening done, and then we reach out to the athletes afterwards and help them connect with care in their local areas.
Rudolph says they also provide dental care products like toothbrushes and mouth guards for the athletes to use. And Milwaukee area commuters are dealing with a complicated ride this weekend.
The full closure of 894 westbound remains in effect between the Mitchell Interchange and the Hale Interchange. This 54-hour shutdown, which began Friday night, is essential for final paving operations and will continue through Monday morning at 5:30. Drivers heading through the area will need to follow the posted detours. Eastbound 894 is staying open for the duration. All work is weather dependent, but for more information, visit WTMJ.com. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, weather, and X Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 7:04.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If you haven't called Siding Unlimited for new windows, what are you waiting for? This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I want to share with you a couple stories. Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. Loved her windows were warmer and her roof didn't leak. Also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost against the Padres Friday night, losing 2-0. The Brew Crew get another chance to even the odds today at American Family Field with first pitch at 6:35 tonight. And the Florida Panthers evened the odds against the Edmonton Oilers Friday night in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Panthers beat the Oilers 5-4 in double overtime. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have no major incidents out on the roads at this time, so it should be a smooth drive this morning for all of southeast Wisconsin.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Saturday is going to be partly cloudy with some isolated showers on a high of 75 degrees. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy with some isolated showers early in the evening with a low of 56 degrees. Sunday's going to be partly cloudy with some evening showers and storms on a high of 74 degrees. Monday's going to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers, a high of 70 degrees. Tuesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 73 degrees, and Wednesday will be mostly sunny and warm with a high of 82 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's currently 57 degrees. In Green Bay, it's currently 58 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 58 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 58 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:08.
This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy. And we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton, Kane, and David Nason.
7th already, halfway through the year, just about. One more, 30 days and we're halfway through. I think it's going okay. Busy enough for you? Inspections are staying on pace? What's the landscape of what you're doing looking like these days?
Morning, Dayton. It has been quite a few busy weeks. I told somebody the other day, it seemed like in May a switch got turned on, and all of a sudden, I mean, I've been kind of busy all year, but May, all of a sudden, it kind of took off. And not only home inspections, but all the other stuff I'm doing. But I did 7 home inspections this week, so for me, this year or last 2 years, that's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
Not like 2020 where it was, there's nothing else to do and people were buying houses and I was doing 8 a week.
So as you go, do you talk to realtors while you're out doing those, or is that you kind of go off on your own? So are they saying, are people still fighting to get a house? Is it still where you can't find one and bids are going up above price?
It's not like it was in the end of 21, 22,
right?
Where that was just
chaos.
There was 30 to 40 bids on a house kind of thing, and the crazy amount of overbidding. Some of that's still happening, from what I'm hearing. And so, yes, I do talk to the realtors. I like it when the realtors are there at the inspections. We can chat. They can see what I'm seeing during the inspection. Right. That way the report isn't a surprise. Oh, yeah, he said that at the inspection. But so there's still not enough inventory. But it seems like the amount of buyers has cooled off a little bit, but it's still, prices are definitely up.
Yeah,
they're still up. But I think I read something. Was it last week? Yeah, at the beginning of the show where there was something in the paper about how home sales are down.
Right.
So
and contracts being canceled are up. So people get into a contract and then they pull back.
What that's saying is, and what I'm experiencing seems to be different. So I don't know. I'm busy.
You're busy.
So,
Busy's good. Busy's good.
So how about you?
We've been busy as well. It picked up January and February were it would typically slow in January and February when it comes to remodeling stuff. But it really seemed really slow at the beginning of the year. But then all of a sudden, like you said, kind of like a switch happened in March for us. And all of a sudden leads started coming in. People started getting interested. This time of year is perfect to be looking at your project because you're probably getting your project done in August, September, which are some of the best months to do something on the outside of your house. So if you're considering a roof or siding or windows, now's a good time to be talking to people so that you get a good project date put in mind. So,
and it's always a good thing to improve your home, right?
Exactly.
Improve the value of your home.
And on that note, I found a list here on HGTV.com. We're going to read through, because we have no guests this hour.
Right.
So first of all, if you have questions about anything on your home, we'll take them because it's the Fix It Show, and we want to help you fix things on your house. 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. But as we're going through calls and texts, we're also going to sprinkle in this throughout the hour. Increase your home's value. What are some things you can do to increase your home's value? I'm going to read through the list. You're going to respond on what you think or how you could do that if that's something that somebody has a project they're looking at. So 855-616-1620. We'd love to hear from you. It is the Fix It Show, and this is WTMJ.
Summerfest is almost here.
Hey, the music.
Benson Boone.
The food.
Saz's sampler platter.
All the things that make Summerfest great, and we're going to send you
to all 9 days.
Hey, it's Summerfest on us.
Keep it tuned to WTMJ for your chance to win tickets to every single day of Summerfest.
We'll have your opportunity on our show, Wisconsin's Midday News, to go to Summerfest on us.
Happy Summerfest from all of us right here at WTMJ.
The Fix It Show live stream and podcast are brought to you by J&J Contractors. From roofing, windows, sidings, kitchen, bathrooms, and more, J&J Contractors proudly provide a full catalog of exceptional exterior and interior home improvement services, all under one roof. Visit jnjcontractorsllc.com or call 414-423-9200 for your free consultation today. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
Well,
I'm asking for a friend.
The best way to remove urine from a mattress is to trade in that old mattress for a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hasselus Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. And that's on top of our everyday low prices.
Come on, everybody says lowest prices.
Others sell a Sealy Posturepedic Queen Emeryville A mattress for $12.68. Hasselus sells it for $10.34, but through Monday, it's just $7.86. And check out the low prices on Beautyrest and more. Plus, free next day delivery.
What does my friend do with his old soaked mattress?
We haul it away for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's technology that's been around for a long time, but it's the best in the business, and Guthrie and Fry will get it to you. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
The Fix It Show with Dayton, Kane, and David Nason on WTMJ.
7:16 on a Saturday, going to be sunny. Some isolated showers, especially to the south today. A high of 75 on Dayton. That's David, and we'd love to hear from you. 855-616-1620. Let's talk about increasing your home's value, because what I'm thinking is happening, and this has been going on for a little while. With the higher interest rates, people aren't moving as much.
Yeah.
They're kind of staying put and fixing up their house because they're like, well, I got a 2% rate or a 3% rate. I don't want a 6 or 7% rate, so let's just fix up where we live.
Mm-hmm.
First thing on the list, and let's see, I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with this one, says spend an hour with a pro. And it lists 3 different options: an interior designer, a realtor, or an inspector.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so they're saying basically an hour's worth of time, and people charge for that, right? Realtors, maybe you could get away with them coming in and telling you what you need to change in your home. But it's saying they're going to point out the things that aesthetically and foundationally and things that you know are going to kind of bring your property value down when you go to sell it.
Yeah.
So that's the first item. I'm assuming you agree with that.
I would agree, and I agree that realtors probably are not going to charge, for a time. They probably do that kind of consultation market analysis.
If they think you're going to sell your house.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, but that's the whole point. They will, at least, even if you're not going to sell right now, they want you to have my name so that when you do, you call me. Unless, you would think they're calling you because they either know you or maybe they don't know anybody, rather than you're going to take my advice and then you're going to go call somebody else.
Right.
So, an interior designer is probably going to charge because that's what they do. If they don't perform the work, so they charge for their time, just like an inspector. I don't perform repairs or anything. So when I consult people on stuff and everything, yes, I charge for my time. But it's a great idea. Have somebody who's got some experience, some knowledge, who's been out, looking at homes and things, and can give you, their advice on things.
What I find when I go talk to customers is I'll point something out and they'll be like, "Oh, that's been there forever," or "I didn't even realize that was there." Like
you got to be
just
careful.
Get so used to your house,
right,
that you just overlook things that other people coming in will be like, "Well, what's that?" "Oh, yeah, that's just been like that forever." That's a problem.
Well, right. But you also have to be a little careful. Now, with what you're pointing out is usually, it's a problem. I remember years ago, and I haven't done this in a while, is that when I was doing remodeling work and everything, we'd talk, and I was like, "Well, why do you think somebody did that or something?" And then people are like, "Well, I never noticed that before."
Oh, yeah.
Well, now that's really going to bother me. And I'm like, "Oh man, okay." Now they hate their house because I pointed something out they never really noticed.
Yeah.
But I think, and this isn't a rip or anything against anybody. Most people, I think, just look through more of a lens that's much bigger, and they're just taking everything in on type thing. And people who have a job where your job is specifically to look at something and notice if there's an issue. I'm looking. I always tell I'm looking through a microscope at everything.
Yeah.
And I go to other people's houses. I have to bite my tongue and not say something like, that's really wrong, and that's going to be a problem. Unless it's really going to be a problem, if I know them well enough, take them aside. You really should have this looked at.
Yeah.
Take care of this.
All right, we're going to go through some of these throughout the hour, but we do have a couple texts we can get to. It says, "Hi, should my sump pump crock be empty when not pumping? Noticed an odor and water in the crock." So they're just not getting water.
Two things there. Yeah, if you're not getting water, that can be that could be okay. You just have really good grading and drainage around your house.
Right.
Or
your drain tiles stopped up
you
and
could
you're
have
not
a
getting
drain
water
tile.
to the sump pump.
We've had a pretty wet spring.
Right.
So there's usually some water in the crock, even if it's not pumping. And I mean, the odor thing, that could be a long story, because there's a lot of older homes where and I just saw one this last week, and where if the water in your crock is a little murky, there's probably something emptying into that crock that's not groundwater. Groundwater, with basically melting snow, rain that drains down into your front drain tile and goes into your crock. The water should be quite clear. You're not going to dip a cup in there and drink it.
Right.
But it should be basically clear. If it's murky at all, a little dark gray, right, and if it stinks, and this isn't going to be a new home, so I don't know. They didn't say how old their home is, but something 60s and earlier or more if you're in the rural area, where it could be collecting water, say from the floor drain or the utility sink, where maybe your laundry is draining into it. So now it's what we call gray water, and even though it's not sewage, that stinks. And so you got to check to see what's going in there. If it's really truly just water or groundwater and it stinks, maybe there's something else that got in there. An animal. I've seen mice in the bottom of crocks.
Sure, especially if it's dry, right?
Yeah,
They're saying it's dry when it's empty.
It's not a bad idea to seal it. If you have a cover on it that you can caulk and seal it. That helps with radon. We're not going to get into the radon discussion, but that's where the radon's coming out of, your drain tile mostly. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to put a cover on it and seal it.
So this question says, should my sump pump crock be empty when not pumping? Not necessarily. There could still be water in there if it's below the pump line.
Right.
My pump always, or my crock always has water in it.
Yeah.
I'm just in a wet spot.
Sure.
But it doesn't all drain out if it doesn't hit the cock and trigger it, right?
Yeah.
So there's water always sitting in there.
And if you're running a dehumidifier, like right next to the crock, and the dehumidifier is going into the bucket, rather than, a lot of people have the hose connected to the dehumidifier and goes into the crock, so you never have to empty the bucket. well, then you should always have some water. But if you're not doing that, dehumidifier is going to suck that water out of that crock if it's open.
Okay. We have another dehumidifier question we'll answer when we come back. Get your texts in. No guests this hour, so we can talk about anything. 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. It is the Fix-It Show.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
You gotta get to Built Right today. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here to tell you about Built Right's extended Memorial Day mattress sale. It ends Saturday at 6 p.m. Now, the one location saves you time and money, and Built Right makes it easy to shop and easy to buy. They will beat any big box, national or local chain store, department store, online retailer, warehouse club, or employee-free store because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right also has the best value, selection, and experienced team in Wisconsin. Over 60 models, all on display to try out. 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best brands made in the USA. Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, two-sided, and heavy-duty mattresses that can hold up to 600 pounds. Free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right saves you money. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I hope you'll join me and Brian Jacobson, the chief economist for Annex Wealth Management, this Wednesday, June 11th at 9 a.m. as we dive into the markets, inflation, your 401k, and the economy. I know it's complicated and you have a lot of questions. Brian's got a lot of answers. This is a free webinar, but you need to register ahead of time. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or you can find it at AnnexWealth.com. It's Wednesday, June 11th, 9 a.m. Register today.
WTMJ's The Fix-It Show with David Nason and Dayton Kane.
Who's this?
Who is this producer, Isaac?
It's a guy named Eilert Hiller. He's a Swedish Elvis impersonator.
We were talking about him before the show, watching some of his videos,
I don't
listening to
know.
some of his music.
I love his music.
Okay.
we want him to come to
Is he going to be?
Summerfest.
I was going to see. Is he going to be at Summerfest?
He's not, but
I
we-
wish he was.
We'd
I
go
wish he
for
was.
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's talk fixing stuff because that's what we're here for. 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. This text here says, I have a basement dehumidifier that I run in the summer. Unless it's really warm, it freezes up. I've got a few feet off the ground with 2 milk crates. To get it into warmer temperatures, it's not enough. Do you have any advice for removing the dampness and or how to keep it from freezing? Yeah, so this used to happen to me. Our basement's cool, right? It's down below the surface and typically keeps cooler temperatures. I had to get a new dehumidifier. The new one doesn't freeze up.
Yeah.
So I don't know how old his dehumidifier is, if he's tried that.
Right.
Or
so,
she.
So dehumidifiers, they work with a refrigerant in them. So if we take the example of that and then, okay, this happens to air conditioners. Sometimes your condensing unit outside.
Mm-hmm.
And
the
why,
ones in the windows, that used to happen a lot.
Why does this happen? well, a couple of things can happen. Either your furnace filter is really dirty and it's not getting the proper airflow across it. And so, or the evaporative coil inside above your furnace is really dirty, or the Freon has leaked out. And so dehumidifiers do have a filter.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be a removable filter that you have to clean. Mine has a little, it tells me when it's dirty.
Yep.
You're going to slide it out. And sometimes it's a little hidden. So I'd say, check to see if you have a really dirty filter on the dehumidifier first.
Yep.
If that's not the case, or is it, look in the back, unplug it, and, clean it off if it needs to be cleaned off. If neither of those are the issues, then it's probably needs to be replaced.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's not like if your air conditioning for your home, you can have that recharged with refrigerant. Now, again, I saw my first new air conditioner this week with RB454 refrigerant.
Yeah.
So it used to have the R22, and then we had one R410A. Now there's a couple different ones. Well, this is 454.
Jason Fox said that was coming.
Yeah. So yeah, and you can't recharge a dehumidifier, so you just may need to go and replace it.
Okay, so this one we can answer quickly. Happy Saturday. Would like to have an inspection by David.
Woo!
BestInspectionsLLC.com is the website. But it says there may be a basement issue, occasional water with rain, but grading does need to be done around the house. Who should I schedule first, the basement professionals or Best Inspections? What do you think? What would you prefer? Because you're the inspector that has to go in.
Yeah. Well, it would probably be me, just because I'm going to do the overall inspection, everything, and look at the foundation. And so I might be able to identify, well, you don't really have a foundation problem. You have a grading drainage problem.
Which it sounds like they know they do a little bit.
And so as long as there's no movement in the foundation or anything, and we just got moisture, if it's high up on the walls. So it'd probably make more sense for me to come in first, kind of the generalist overall.
Right.
And then you go to the specialist. It's kind of like go to the doctor.
Sure.
Right? You don't go to the your kidney specialist or whatever before you go to the
That's a good
internal
analogy.
medicine doctor.
There you go.
Yeah.
David Nason, bestinspectionllc.com, the website. You can fill out a form there, and he'll get back to you if you want to do that. Okay, we need to take a break. Keep your texts coming in. We got a lot to get to here, 855-616-1620. Now let's say hi to Sean Brenda in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Good morning.
Morning, Dayton. More than 1,000 tons of coal will be leaving the banks of the Fox River and moving closer to the Bay of Green Bay. Brown County Board members voted on Thursday night to approve a deal for the city of Green Bay and the C. Rice Company to relocate the coal piles to the Fox River Terminal and use the former Pulliam site to store C. Rice's salt. For more than 125 years, the coal piles for the C. Rice Company have been located next to the Fox River. Green Bay leaders say that the removal of the coal piles will free up premier riverfront property that can be used for development or city use. The new lease agreement needs to be signed by September 25th. The coal piles will be moved over the next few years. And the Couture in downtown Milwaukee names its first retail tenant. A 1950s-themed restaurant and tavern called The Vig will move into the luxury apartment building. Developer Rick Barrett says the lease is for 15 years and covers the entire second floor. The Couture began leasing apartments in 2024. Half of its units are rented. The Vig could open by summer of 2026. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We've got 2 incidents on the road. We've got a disabled vehicle on the exit to Wisconsin Route 100 from I-94 East. And then we have another incident on I-43 South at the ramp from Wisconsin Route 164. Expect lane closures due to debris. Other than that, roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Saturday's going to be partly cloudy with some isolated evening showers with a high of 75 degrees. Tonight will be partly cloudy with some isolated showers early in the evening with a low of 56 degrees. Sunday will be partly cloudy with some evening showers and storms on a high of 74 degrees. Monday's looking to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers on a high of 70 degrees. Tuesday's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 73 degrees. And Wednesday's going to be mostly sunny and warm with a high of 82 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's currently 62 degrees. In Waukesha, it's currently 61 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's currently 58 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:32.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
At Abbey Home, our mission statement is making lives easier. Let us make your life easier by custom designing the bathroom to fit your needs so you can stay in your home longer. We will make your shower system safe but stylish by taking out your old tub, and you'll be able to walk right into your new shower. We'll add grab bars, a stationary seat, and glass doors that'll make your new bathroom a stylish success. Right now, get a free shower door with all bathrooms and payments as low as $98 a month. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
Get her done. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Dayton, Kane, and David Nason with you. 63 days until the Packers' first preseason game. Only a couple months away.
When do we play the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers?
Right.
That'll be crazy.
Crazy.
I heard.
I wonder what those tickets are going for already.
I heard some people talking earlier this week about whether or not they're like making, I don't know if they're making bets, but just kind of what are the odds that he's not going to be playing?
Oh.
Like he might be injured. The guy's 42.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
Doesn't take much to injure a guy that old.
No.
Anyways.
No. All right. We got a text here from Dale in Jefferson. Please comment on using deck's surface boards versus wood boards on a deck. So he has an elevated cedar deck, and the top boards are deteriorating. We think that the base underneath is fine structurally. Why would you put on a cedar board versus a TimberTech or an AZEK or like one of these man-made boards that is supposed to last longer?
How much do you want to keep working on your deck? Right?
Right.
Because a cedar deck is as beautiful as it will look when it's done right away. And after every time you stain it.
Yeah, every time you stain it.
Matt Hefter was on a couple weeks ago, and he said he's not, whatever. He oils his deck every year.
Yeah.
And it's just a look that he's going for and everything. And he's got a sizable deck. I inspected his home for him, and the setting there is gorgeous. So what he's got makes a lot of sense. And he also has the experience and the people he can have. Hey, come on out to my house and stain my deck. So I mean, cedar is great. It's been around forever. It's a naturally wood, rot resistant wood. But yes, it does mean maintenance. To that point, these composite materials, they're not maintenance free.
Right.
They will most likely last longer. You do have to keep them clean. I've seen where some algae can build up. If you have an area of your deck that's blocked by your house that will never get sun, no matter how high that sun gets, if it never gets sun, there's a good chance that it's going to get a little bit of algae buildup on it. So you at least need to clean it, wash it off.
And when you do that, follow the manufacturer's instructions. Don't just get out the pressure washer and blast it.
Right.
There's certain things they want you to use or do, and that's for a reason, to make it last longer.
Usually a mild detergent, Dawn dish soap or something, or Jomax or something like that. Maybe a soft bristle brush if necessary.
Soft bristle. Don't get out the wire brush and start.
But the one of the benefits of the composite systems, a lot of them have these hidden faceting systems, so you don't see all the nails.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can do that with wood as well, but it's a lot more common with the composite products. So color options, definitely with the composite products. You're not going to get to staining a cedar deck too many colors.
Right.
Whereas there's probably a lot of variety of colors in a composite product. So
They're just beautiful when they're on.
So, and you mostly get to sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah. You mentioned Matt Hefter. We were going through the list of things you can do to increase your property value. The next thing that was on the list, paint.
And caulk.
You can fresh your house inside pretty easily and fairly inexpensively just by painting
the
rooms.
outside.
And he says that both.
Yeah.
Both. But if you're looking to increase the value and you've got some smudged up, chipped up walls in the house, very easy fix to just paint those walls and get them freshened up. And then the other thing on here, as you're looking at that, is popcorn ceiling. If you can get I would never try to take a popcorn ceiling off myself. It's just too dusty, too much work.
Too much mess.
Overhead. By the time you're done, your arms are going to be killing you. Let the professional do that.
You also have to be very careful. It's not for sure, but a lot of times that popcorn finish has asbestos in it. So
that's in there.
Test it. Usually, paint over it. It's something that's up on the ceiling. You stop focusing on it. Don't look up so much,
Yeah.
But I saw a house yesterday that aluminum siding, and on the south-facing side, the finish had oxidized so much in a couple areas it was literally down to shiny metal.
Sure.
And you wipe your hand on it and all the paint's coming off. So that can take paint very well. And I was explaining, I said, but before you just get out the paintbrush and the paint cans and everything, make sure you do all your caulking, recaulk. If there's something on the house that you don't want on the house, an old planter or something like that, take all those things off, patch holes, caulk holes, do all the prep work, get all that, and then paint.
Sure.
And clean it too. It's all the prep work with any paint job.
Exactly.
Before you clean, dry, and dull. That's what Tom Faze always said.
All right, next one here says at 855-616-1620, when hiring someone to clean your air ducts, is there any special type of equipment or power level that the company should be using? Most of them roll up with those big trucks, and they just...
If Jason Fox is listening right now, he's probably yelling into his radio or whatever he's listening on. And they, obviously it's not a shop vac, but there is. I remember Jason talking about there's an organization, the National Duct Cleaning Organization, NCDA or whatever it is. I just made that up. I don't know, but there is a group that they belong to that has standards. So I would say that go out and search that, or we could search that and find out who they are, and then see if the person you're talking to is following those standards for duct cleaning. Definitely, you want somebody who's got dedicated equipment. So there are companies that, we do that also. Well, how about if you have a fleet that is specifically that's what you do day in and day out?
Right. You were so close. The National Air Duct Cleaners Association, NADCA. You were so close.
I came up with that.
There's an association for everything. But if you just type in NADCA.com, you can actually find a professional in your area by putting in your zip code. And
that would be a good place
it'll
to go.
tell you which ones are doing what they're supposed to do. All right, let's get to this one yet. I have a concrete block basement, ranch house, and a crawl space that runs adjacent to it. A home addition. Sounds like my basement. Crawl space is accessible from the basement by a 3x2 window. Sounds like my basement. Is it correct that a certain type of dehumidifier can be installed to be functional in both areas, or does each section need its own unit? It depends on how big we're talking.
You have crawl spaces.
I do, and I have one dehumidifier for the basement, which seems to run all the time. I probably could stick another one.
But so here's the big question. Correct me if I'm wrong. So when I inspected your home, they were just dirt floors, damp, and everything. You've had...
I've had it sealed off.
Sealed off, and you've got vapor barriers in now and everything. So that's the big question here.
Yeah.
Crawl spaces for a long time were built, or additions were built on crawl spaces where it's just a dirt floor in there, and then closed up and everything. And then they insulate the joists and everything. And I saw one earlier this week that it had a concrete floor, but it had insulation, and unfortunately, there's a bunch of organic growth on the insulation, craft-faced insulation, and on the joists and everything. It looked like the foundation might have been leaking a little bit from poor grading and drainage. And so now we're not just talking about a dehumidifier. We're talking about we need somebody to get in there, make sure the water's not coming in, clean up the organic growth, really take care of fixing that crawl spaces, because crawl spaces should really be treated like a basement.
Yeah.
And where you have warm air circulating through there, the walls should be insulated. We really shouldn't insulate the floor. I think we just may have opened a can of worms, because a lot of people have crawl spaces. You really need to talk to a basement foundation specialist. The ones that come on the show here, Accurate Basement Repair does that. I'm not sure if Gatish does foundation. They do foundation work. You could call them and see if they do, but have somebody that understands the whole dynamics and science about how a crawl space should work. Very different than what was done before, where they were vented, and that can cause some problems.
And if you have a window there, it says there a window, and you keep that window closed.
Yeah.
Well, you need to have two separate units, because you got separate spaces at that point.
Right.
I have mine are open with screens
on them,
so that the airflow goes through the entire basement and crawl space. So that dehumidifier is dehumidifying everything. And I'll tell you, sealing that dirt floor made a huge difference in the mustiness smell in my house, the amount of condensation in my house, the amount of humidity in my house. So if that's not done in your house, I would recommend that.
Did we ever do a radon test in your house?
Yeah, we were right on the line, but we didn't do one after we had that done. I should have that done just to see if that made a difference.
I would bet it did.
Yeah.
Because that earth is where it's all coming out of.
If you have just the dirt floor in your crawl space, I would recommend it just off my own experience. I don't know scientifically if I'm telling accuracy, but the way my house seems to perform and smell and it just seems much better. Yes.
Yeah, the comfort level.
Yeah.
All right, in the basement and upstairs.
We need to take a break. When we come back, more of your calls and texts at 855-616-1620. Keep them coming. It's a good hour on the Fix It Show. Thanks for listening to WTMJ.
So I was at a family get-together, and my aunt and I were putting the finishing touches on dinner. And she said, "Honey, could you grab the dressing out of the fridge?" Well, when I opened the refrigerator door, I noticed something. And I said, "Aunt, it looks like a shelf in there is missing. What happened?" And she replied, "Oh, your uncle tipped a wine bottle in there, and one of the glass shelves shattered. And I'm certainly not going to buy a new fridge because of that." And I said, "Well, Aunt, you know my business solves problems like that. Just give me the dimensions of the glass and we'll have it replaced, and the shelf will be good as new." And she said, "I never thought of that." And that's what made me think of letting you know that if you have any kind of problem with glass, if you come see us, there's a pretty good chance we can solve it. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass in your home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Michael Ziegler still doesn't know how that James Bond movie ends. He missed the ending, but his wife made sure he was there for the beginning of something much greater. He says, turn off what might be distracting you so that you can tune in to the new reality Christ brings. Hear Dr. Ziegler's message, Ticket Stubs Turned to Joy, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Hey, what's better than seeing one Goodyear blimp? How about two? This summer at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh, we're celebrating 100 years of Goodyear blimps with a rare double appearance in the skies over Oshkosh, all part of the world's greatest aviation celebration. July 21st through the 27th. Don't miss the blimps, the air shows, the adventure of a lifetime. Get your tickets now at EAA.org/tickets. That's EAA.org/tickets. Lock in your spot today and be part of history. The sky's not the limit. It's just the beginning. It's EAA AirVenture Oshkosh.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Ready to upgrade your home's exterior? Family owned and operated since 1983, J&J Contractors specializes in top-quality windows, doors, and siding that enhance your home while increasing its value and energy efficiency. From modern vinyl siding to stylish fiberglass doors, and from double-hung windows to sliding glass doors, they have the perfect solutions for your home. Contact them today for a free consultation. Just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Advice you can use. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Yeah, helps if the microphone's on. I'm talking.
Yeah.
Yours was on. You could probably hear me in the background.
Maybe.
Brewers tonight, 6:35. Churio replica jersey.
Yeah,
you know what
nice.
I get tomorrow when I go to the game?
Nothing.
I get my ticket scanned and I get to go find my seat.
Yeah.
So I've picked the wrong day.
You get to enjoy a Brewer game.
There we go. We were talking about things you can do to increase your home's value for little price or cost. Plant a tree is on the list.
I just planted a tree.
You just increased your home's value.
We had a maple tree in our front yard that was
I hate my
dying.
maple trees. They drop everything.
The roots were, what are they called, girdling?
What's that mean?
Girdling,
Coming
where
up?
you can see the roots come to the surface and they look like they're wrapping around the trunk.
Oh.
And so that's what they do. If they can't go out or soil conditioner or something, they start to wrap and it literally like strangles the tree.
Interesting.
And so if you're looking at the tree and the ends of the branches are dying, there's not enough water getting out, so it's dying. And big chunks, big branches were coming off, and it was like, okay, this has got to go. So we took it down earlier this spring and everything. And just last week we had also Ashburn Tree Nursery out in Ashburn. My sons used to work there, so Jim Lumsden helped us out. We got a birch spire tree. Looks gorgeous. We've had a lot of compliments
I love
on it.
birch trees.
Really compliments the front yard there.
Nice. So you did it. You increased your home's value.
Yeah. If I was a little closer to trees on the move, I would use them. But and my sons worked at this other place. So.
We have a maple tree hanging over our house from our neighbor's yard, and we're getting that thing pulled out. But we did it too late. This was a bumper crop year for the helicopters that fall off the maples.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere I go, it's just like littered with helicopter. So can't wait to get that one out. It's between our houses, not easy to get to.
Yeah.
The company that's coming in is going to either have to have a climber or one of those, where they can grab it.
Right.
But I don't know where they'd even get that close enough to be able to do that.
I think they have one that goes like 90 feet.
They would need that because of where it's located. But anyway, so well done, David Nason. You increased your home's value.
Yes.
We do have to take, that was a short break because we went long on the last one. One more before we're joined by Abby from Abby Homes. So get your calls and texts in at 855-616-1620.
You know the voice.
Fly ball, right field, out of here!
You know the iconic calls.
Fly ball, deep right! Back to back!
And you know he's our Brewers 360 guest on Wisconsin's Morning News. Every Wednesday at 8:45. It's Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Hey, freshly retired WTMJ morning show host Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. We've talked over the years about the hometown difference. What's that all about? Well, it's about their huge New Berlin showroom featuring name brands like Pella, Marvin, and more, all on display. It's almost like a private home show, giving you the opportunity to compare your options side by side. And when you work with Hometown, you also get a dedicated project consultant to guide you to the products that best fit your home, your style, and your budget, as well as Hometown's own employee carpenters to handle the job. Now's a great time to lock in your price and take advantage of the savings by investing in your home's equity today. Take the hassle out of your next window or door upgrade. Contact Hometown today. Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. 414-329-1200 or online at hometownwindows.com.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I hope you'll join me and Brian Jacobson, the chief economist for Annex Wealth Management, this Wednesday, June 11th at 9 a.m. as we dive into the markets, inflation, your 401k, and the economy. I know it's complicated and you have a lot of questions. Brian's got a lot of answers. This is a free webinar, but you need to register ahead of time. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or you can find it at AnnexWealth.com. It's Wednesday, June 11th, 9 a.m. Register today.
Here's to the farm and fleet dads, the ones who take pride in a job well done, the ones who make the most of every moment and still take the time to pass it on. At Blaine's, we're here to make this Father's Day special with gifts for one-of-a-kind dads at prices that'll make them proud. Like select men's Carhartt Force and Ariat apparel, 25% off. Special buy DeWalt tool batteries, just $39 while supplies last. Plus, Blaine's gift cards are always perfect gifts. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Dayton and David. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. Don't forget, you can always watch the show streaming live on YouTube, WTMJ.com, and the WTMJ mobile app for all of those
I'm
watching.
smiling.
Thank you for watching the show. We appreciate that. And thanks for texting in. We're getting a lot of questions. One just came in for Abby. She will be on with us next hour from Abby Home. So get ready to ask her questions. But let's wrap this up this hour with things you can do to increase your home's value. And this tip says make small changes in your kitchen. So if you have a stain in your kitchen sink, replace the sink because people will notice that. Add a little water filter under your sink where you can get clean water. They say that's something you could do.
Changing a kitchen sink's not always a small deal.
No.
Depends on how it's
Well, when we went to Kohler, there's lots of options.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I have one of those farm front, apron front sinks, and then it's a Zodiac top on top of it. I mean, I'd have to rip out my countertop.
Oh, yeah.
To replace my sink.
That wouldn't
If
be
it's
easy.
not an undermount, it's a whole.
It says change out an old microwave. If you got an old microwave hanging above your, do stuff like that to increase the value.
Change the hardware on your cabinets.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, especially if it's one of those older, outdated colors or things
brass
like
or something. Polished
brass is coming back now.
It's polished weird. Brass, or I mean antique brass. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Replace worn carpets or rugs. That's kind of a given. If you walk in and you see a dirty, messed up rug or carpet, that's a bad one. Keep up with your maintenance and repairs. Wait. We're supposed to keep up with our maintenance and repairs. What does that mean? I don't even know. Yes. Okay, we did get a text here, 855-616-1620. Who do you recommend for radon inspection? David Nason?
I can do radon testing, definitely.
If they do need a radon system put in, who would you recommend?
Lifetime Radon Solutions, and I think they've changed to Lifetime Home because they do more than just home services. But you could probably find them at Lifetime Radon. And I don't think they're in Delafield anymore. I think they moved to Brookfield area.
Okay.
I got to check up on that.
AJ from Hales Corners just texted, and I don't know if I know the answer to this. Good morning, a great show. Thank you. Who would you recommend for cleaning the vent over the stove? So that's a good question. So you got the filter, right?
Right.
On your hood.
Mm-hmm.
And that often, not all the time, mine doesn't. Mine just recirculates air, but sometimes there's a vent that goes out the roof.
The hood,
should that be cleaned?
So
how do you clean that?
Yeah, so if you think about it, there are companies that go around and clean the hoods in restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Those hoods get a whole lot more
yeah.
Grease and use than our kitchen hoods. So I would start there. If they have a division maybe that does residential, you can try it on your own and find some detergents that might clean it. Basically, you're probably looking mostly for a grease remover.
Right.
That's probably going to be the biggest issue. The filters, you can just throw them in your dishwasher if you want, or soak them in the sink and clean those. But yeah, that because not only is there going to be something on the surface, just like duct cleaning, you got to clean the interior of the duct or a chimney. You can't see the inside, so you need somebody who's specializes in cleaning the inside of that duct if you're really concerned, or if it's going outside. So that's where I would start. Would be a
that's where I get confused because when you take that filter off, there's a fan right there.
There's a fan there.
So do you have to take the fan out and clean from the bottom, or do you go from the top down?
Maybe both.
That's why you need a professional.
Yes, maybe both.
Yeah. All right. And AJ, thanks for that text. It reminds me I have to clean my filter above my stove. I haven't done that in a while.
But I would try a commercial duct hood cleaner.
Okay.
And if they don't do it, I would hope that they would say, "Oh yeah, we get that question all the time. Call these people."
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the text. It was a good hour. That does it for hour number 1.
This has been the Fix It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Are you okay, Ben?
I'm scared, Arvid.
Why?
Nicole can read my mind.
What?
Hold on. Is this about the Ashton recliner again?
See? I was just thinking about the Ashton recliner at Penny Mustard.
Yes, we were just talking about its optionizable qualities.
I said I'd like the Ashton recliner in leather, and she said...
Done.
I suggested a different leg color, and she said...
Done.
Ben.
And then he asked if I could add bedazzled gold nailhead adornments to make it look like a throne.
And she said, great minds think alike.
Look, I don't think Nicole can really read your mind.
Well, not anymore. That's why I'm wearing this tinfoil hat.
Why does it smell like fish?
Because I wrapped my lunch in it.
The Ashton recliner, made in the USA with locally sourced materials and designed to fit all body types. Starting at $28.70 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
CertaPro Painters, the best in the business. WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife and I were shocked at how thoughtful they are, how amazing they are, how they moved things that needed to be moved and got their jobs done fast and efficiently. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Slots are filling up fast. Now's the time for your home or your business. Get on their schedule. They will transform your house. It'll be the best-looking house in the neighborhood. The teams I trust are at CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
They might sip IPAs in San Diego, but in Milwaukee, we brew wins.
Watching it sail at the wall, it's way out of here. Brewers dominate by a final score of 9-1.
It's the Brewers hosting the Padres. Our Brewers radio game day coverage begins tonight at 6. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's currently 59 degrees in Milwaukee. Saturday's looking to be partly cloudy with some isolated evening showers on a high of 75 degrees. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy with some isolated showers early in the evening with a low of 56 degrees. Sunday will be partly cloudy with some evening showers and storms on a high of 74 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brenda. 2 people are dead and 4 people are in the hospital after multiple shootings occurred Friday evening. The shootings took place at around 4:10 p.m. near the corners of 46th Street and West Hampton Avenue, and 6 minutes later near the corners of 69th Street and Hampton Avenue. Victims aging 16, 22, 33, and 46 suffered non-fatal wounds and were taken to the hospital. An unidentified victim and a 23-year-old victim died. Milwaukee police are continuing their investigation as they search for unknown suspects. And Maxwell Anderson's sentencing is set for August 15th. Here's what could happen in the meantime.
In the interim, it might be doing some type of psychological profile.
That's prominent Milwaukee defense attorney Jonathan Smith. He knows psychological evaluations can play a major role in sentencing decisions, providing the court with key insight into the mental state of the defendant. But before that happens, there's the talk with the client just found guilty.
You have to have some sympathy and some empathy for them, and it's hard to do sometimes with the crimes for which they have been convicted.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
And Shadi Robinson's mother, Sheena Scarborough, says while Anderson has been found guilty, she wants to support other families who have lost loved ones to deadly crimes.
I appreciate everybody in the community that's been standing beside us and by us. I know that there's a lot of other crime victim families in the community that have been outreaching me, and I had to, I have to take it one step at a time. I had to get my baby's justice first before I can be able to help maneuver and support any other crime victim families.
Scarborough's lawyer confirmed the civil lawsuit against Anderson will move forward. And a federal judge has cleared the way for colleges to pay their former athletes millions of dollars. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace explains.
The ruling comes 5 years after Arizona State swimmer Grant House sued the NCAA and its 5 biggest conferences to lift restrictions on revenue sharing. Under the so-called House settlement, each school will share up to $20 million with athletes over the next year and $2.7 billion over the next decade to thousands of former athletes who were barred from that revenue.
NCAA President Charlie Baker says the settlement opens a pathway to begin stabilizing college sports. And a special start to summer at the Special Olympics.
There's no shortage of pride in Whitewater this weekend, especially from parents like Jeff and Katie, who watched their son Jonathan compete at the Special Olympics Summer Games.
How you feeling, John?
Good. Feeling good. He did fantastic. So we're feeling really good.
Jonathan was one of hundreds of athletes giving it their all, and for his parents, it's more than a game, it's a moment.
Anybody has an opportunity to volunteer or get to know someone who has a disability of any kind, it will enrich their lives, and that's why we're here. Having disabilities in our family has changed our lives for the better.
From his first wrap around the track to standing ovations, it's a day Jonathan and his family won't forget. At UW-Whitewater, Nicer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, weather, and X Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 8:05.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her Accunet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian designed recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, special specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save during our Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all Sports Desk. The Brewers lost against the Padres Friday night, losing 2-0. The Brewer Crew get another chance to even the odds tonight at American Family Field with first pitch at 6:35. And the Florida Panthers evened the odds against the Edmonton Oilers Friday night in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Panthers beat the Oilers 5-4 in double overtime. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We've got one incident on the road. We got a disabled vehicle on the exit to Wisconsin Route 100 from I-94 East. Where that roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today's going to be partly cloudy with some isolated showers later this evening with a high of 75 degrees. Tonight will be partly cloudy with some isolated showers early in the evening with a low of 56 degrees. Sunday, partly cloudy, some evening showers and storms with a high of 74 degrees. Monday is going to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers, a high of 70 degrees. Tuesday is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 73 degrees, and Wednesday will be mostly sunny and warm with a high of 82 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's currently 63 degrees. In Green Bay, it's currently 62 degrees. In Waukesha, it's currently 63 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's currently 59 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:08.
This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy. And we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton, Kane, and David Nason.
Welcome to hour number 2. Don't forget you can find the Fix It Show podcast on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. David, we're joined by Abby from Abby Home. How are you, Abby?
Good morning, Abby.
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing also. Well, also.
Yes. So, like we like to do, remind everybody what you guys are all about and where you service.
Absolutely. So we're Abby Home now because we do everything on the outside of your house as far as roofing, windows, siding, gutters, doors, soffit fascia. We blow in attic insulation. And the inside of your home, we also do baths and shower conversions as well.
All right. A lot going on there. And the website is just abbyhome.com, so very easy to find. We've been going through the first hour, things that we can do to increase our house's value. And one of the things on the list is big return on bathroom updates. Let's talk a little bit about that. What are you seeing people updating, and what kind of return can you expect on a bathroom remodel typically?
It's crazy if you went on the Realtor app right now and looked at all the houses that are for sale, and you'll literally see these 1990s time warp bathrooms and showers that are still with pink tubs or light blue and pink tile. And so we're seeing a lot of that, and we're tearing that stuff out and putting in a new shower pan, new walls, or if you want to go back with a tub, we can put a soaker tub in and put the walls up. So we do everything all the way up to the ceiling. And right now we have a special that if you get a shower or a tub, we'll throw a free door in, so you don't have to have a curtain anymore as well. So this entire month, if you get a shower or bath, you get a free shower glass door with it.
Nice.
But what we're seeing is a lot of those 90s builds. You don't realize it, but that was 30 years ago. It's crazy to think that way. And you think,
Stop. You're making me feel old.
But that's the time, a lot of houses were built, especially in Waukesha County and Oak Creek area, Franklin, in the 90s. And that's the time where now the windows are starting to get bad. The siding, a lot of those were built without house wrap. That house wrap was an option back then, and nobody really knew what it was. So they took their allotment and put it into nicer countertops or nicer cabinets because of the aesthetics. And who cares about house wrap until now you have the sheathing of your home, all rotted. So that's kind of what we're seeing is a lot of 90s and 2000s builds that need some maintenance and some upgrading.
Right, and with that too, there are a lot of original owners. So houses a lot of times don't get upgraded or updated until somebody else moves in. I mean, some people do their own remodeling, but a lot of times it's the next owner that's coming in.
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, we like the house, love the area, we just want to make it our own. And now it's time.
But millennials are buying a lot of the houses now. They're the highest amount of buyers, and they're not the big do-it-yourselfers. So they want to walk into a home, and I've seen and heard that they didn't buy a house because they didn't like the paint colors. And so if you don't like the paint colors, what do you think they're going to do with pink tile or a pink tub or a pink toilet? So there's a lot of things that if you're looking at, and everybody says they're selling their house in 2 years. That's the golden answer whenever you ask, how long do you plan on being here? 2 years. So that's the thing where if you're looking at selling, then if that is in fact the case, then you should consider upgrading some things so that you can get that return. In the cost versus value report that comes out every year, it tells you literally what your house you can add to the value of your home. I don't think that people realize the amount of investment that your home is, because your home is the greatest investment. And so when you're spending money and upgrading, it's not just for you, but it also increases the value. So it's like putting more money into the stock of your home.
Yeah, we were talking at the beginning of the first hour how house sales are down, but prices are still, off. I'm not going to say off the chart, but have been consistently going up. So
we do need to take a break. More with Abby. Get your calls and texts in 855-616-1620. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Summerfest is almost here. The music, the food, all the things that make Summerfest great.
And we are going to send you to all 9 days.
Keep it tuned to WTMJ for your chance to win tickets to every single day of Summerfest. We'll have your opportunity on Wisconsin's Morning News. Go to Summerfest on us.
Happy Summerfest from all of us here on WTMJ.
The Fix It Show live stream and podcast are brought to you by J&J Contractors. From roofing to windows, kitchens, bathrooms, and more, J&J Contractors proudly provide a full catalog of exceptional exterior and interior home improvement services, all under one roof. Visit jnjcontractorsllc.com or call 414-423-9200 for your free consultation today. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
If it needs fixing, we can help. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. Tosa Greek Fest going on at St. Constantine and Helen Greek Church today.
That is such a cool
tomorrow.
church designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. If you ever get a chance, the Open Doors Milwaukee, they usually are there.
That's cool.
It is really neat space inside there.
We have Abby Binder from Abbey Home on with us this hour. You can find them at abbyhome.com. We do have a text that came in at 855-616-1620. It says, question for Abby. What is the typical cost per square foot for standard vinyl siding installation?
And that's an easy question to answer, right?
No.
Yeah, it's hard to say without taking a look at what we're doing. And it depends if we're tearing off the old siding that you have or leaving the old siding on. If you have a 1920s house and you have wood siding behind there and lath and plaster, that's the only thing that's kind of on the walls. We usually leave that wood siding on there as long as nothing is rotted. Where if you have a 1990s home and you have cedar, then we'll tear all that off. So it kind of sounds counter. Like it doesn't make sense that why would you leave something 100 years old on and tear something that's only 30 years old off? But that's just the way that a lot of that wood was made, and it's still solid. So it just gives another flat surface.
Old growth lumber is much more durable
than OSB. No,
well, even the cedar, like she's talking about from 30 years ago.
Okay, so
yeah, and what we'll do as well is we have a couple different lines of siding. I'm a big fan of insulated vinyl siding because not only are you getting siding, but you're getting a pre-engineered wall system because you're insulating all of the house as well. And so you don't realize, even if you have 2x6 walls and you have a newer build, all your studs are not insulated. So that actually is causing a thermal bridge. If you took a FLIR camera and put it up to your house, you'd see the studs and you'd see that they're conducting cold. And so that's why we want to insulate the entire home. And by putting the house wrap up and then putting insulated siding up, you can actually create a pre-engineered wall system in your home.
Yeah. All right. Another text here says, I'd like to replace some interior doors. Does Abby do that?
We don't do interior doors, just the exterior doors. So garage doors into the home, like a fire-rated door we do, entry doors, storm doors, patio doors, garage service doors, anything that actually exits to the outside of your home we do. But interior doors, that's a whole nother beast that we don't really touch much.
It's a finished carpenter product.
855-616-1620, the WTMJ Talking text line. We've got a 1950s ranch with pink tile on the bathroom walls. To update it, could wainscoting be put over the tile?
You could. You just have to make sure you'd have a nailing surface. You don't really want to use a hammer drill and start drilling into the tile.
Yeah.
So you could, if you were strategic about it, yeah, you could definitely do it. The only thing is you might have to bump out where you're nailing into because the tile is going to bump out, and then if you're going to try to nail over it, you're going to have to have some sort of buffer to be able to have it an even surface where you're nailing. So you might have to put like a chair rail, like a wood chair rail behind it, kind of to act as a nailing surface so that it's even with the tile, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably what we would call a mud set tile versus today everything's a thin set, so the tile's much thinner. If you see if that tile's sticking away from the wall a half inch, like Abby's saying, drilling through that, nailing to that is going to be a bit of a chore. And then now you have a really deep chair rail molding, so yeah, that's going to be
the big thing
problematic.
is not to be so even with everything right now. Like if you have an 8-foot ceiling, you don't have to have a 4 foot and 4 foot, or just go with the wainscoting. You could actually offset it, and what's getting more popular is going with a higher, like having the bottom wainscoting be a little bit higher. So almost the way that an Oriole style window would be, where you go kind of like a Craftsman look, where it actually be by about 5 feet in height, and then have the upper part only be 3 feet. So you'd have 5 feet of your textured wall, whether that be wainscoting, or if you have drywall now, you could actually put 1x4s. One thing I did on one of my bathrooms is I took 1x4s and put them up about 5 feet, and then I put a 1x4 across. So I created like a Craftsman style look to that, and painted the whole bottom white, and it was fairly inexpensive. And then the upper I painted like a grayish brown, like a grayish, and so it gave it that look, and it wasn't even, so it just kind of offset it, but it also kind of kept that Craftsman style look that I like.
Did you just say a color called grayish? Did I hear you say that?
Yeah, it's like grayish beige.
Grayish? I've never heard that one before. Grayish. Okay. I can picture it.
Yeah.
But I've never heard somebody say grayish.
Everything matches. Everything matches with grayish.
Yeah. It's like off-white, with the grayish. I like that.
Abby's on with us for the rest of the hour. Get your calls and texts in, 855-616-1620. A lot of texts flooding in. You're popular this morning. We'll get to her with your questions next. Check her out at abbyhome.com. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I hope you'll join me and Brian Jacobson, the chief economist for Annex Wealth Management, this Wednesday, June 11th at 9 a.m. as we dive into the markets, inflation, your 401k, and the economy. I know it's complicated and you have a lot of questions. Brian's got a lot of answers. This is a free webinar, but you need to register ahead of time. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or you can find it at AnnexWealth.com. It's Wednesday, June 11th, 9 a.m. Register today.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Like a user's manual on the radio. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. Sunny, isolated showers, especially to the south this afternoon and evening, a high of 75. Dayton, Kane, and David Nason here. 60 degrees and sunny now in Milwaukee. And Abby from Abby Home on with us this hour. 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Another text came in, says, does Abby install a shower in a new basement where only the plumbing is installed?
As long as there's a drain.
Okay.
We need a drain to be able to do that. But yes, if there's a drain, then we can do it.
Almost every new home being built today has the plumbing for a bathroom roughed in the floor in the basement. So I would imagine that's what they're talking about.
Yep.
That's cool.
We don't want to start tearing up concrete or anything on the basement floor.
A lot of bathroom questions coming in. I have one bathroom in my 2-bedroom single-family home built in 1952. I want to update the bathroom and remove the tub to create a hotel-like shower stall, but I've heard buyers like tubs. What are your thoughts?
I think that is becoming less and less of a trend. And if you only have one, I don't think that's going to hinder the value or the sale of your home, where somebody wouldn't buy it because of that. Even if somebody has kids, I mean, that would kind of depend on that, if somebody wants to buy the home with young kids. But I've not seen somebody not buy it because of a hotel-like shower is going to be a lot more attractive to somebody than having that tub, I believe.
Yeah. It used to be kind of the thing that, well, you have to have at least one tub in the house. I don't know. You can buy little bathing things for infants, but when, I don't know, I guess I remember my son's taking baths in our tub. So, but more and more I'm seeing houses where there's 2 bathrooms even, and they both have showers in them.
Right.
So it's kind of a trend that's going the other way.
Okay. Another one here at 855-616-1620. What's in right now? 333 or 444 vinyl siding?
Neither.
Definitely not the 333. That's more of a Victorian kind of look, right?
Yeah, I would say neither of those are in style, actually. Everyone's moving towards wider stuff like 6 and 7 inch profiles. The 6 and 7 inch is pretty much popular with the insulated vinyl, the LP. Anything you do, it's going to be that wider profile. Not as wide as 8 inch like the 1970s aluminum, but not as skinny as that 3 and 4 inch like I call it your grandfather's vinyl siding, the original vinyl siding. The 6 and 7 inch are going to be the most popular right now.
And I haven't seen Dutch lap in like forever.
I seriously cannot stand Dutch lap. It just looks like garage siding to me. And, the reason why they invented it is because the European style of like creating that notch in the wood. And so that's why they're trying to replicate it. But unless you have like a Dutch colonial, there's really no need for Dutch lap.
Yeah, I thought it was bigger out east, and it kind of came this way for a little while. And I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen it forever.
Yeah. All right. AbbyHome.com is a website. You can check them out there. If you fill out a form, they'll get in touch with you, Monday, Tuesday, or are you going today?
You can give us a call today. It's 414-436-ABBY, so 414-436-2229. Or we do have online scheduling now, so you can actually go on our website, abbyhome.com, and you can actually book it right on there with a time that works for you. So you don't even, if you don't want to talk to a live person, you don't even have to.
All right. Sounds good. We have to take a break over the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Sean Brinda. Good morning, Sean.
Thanks, Dayton. 2 people are dead and 4 people are in the hospital after multiple shootings occurred Friday evening. The shootings took place at around 4:10 p.m. near the corners of 46th Street and West Hampton Avenue, and 6 minutes later at the corners of 69th Street and West Hampton Avenue. Victims aging 16, 22, 33, and 46 suffered non-fatal wounds and were taken to the hospital, but an unidentified victim and a 23-year-old victim were found dead at the scene. Milwaukee police are continuing their investigation as they search for unknown suspects. And an affordable housing development on Milwaukee's north side evacuated in 2023 could soon see residents return. The east blocks of the community within the corridor complex has been a shut-off to residents since the detection of elevated levels of a cancer-causing chemical in early 2023. Now the developers say the building has received the necessary approvals to reopen. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports residents could start moving back in this month. The Department of Natural Resources says testing at the site will continue in the coming years. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We've got no major incidents out on the road at this time, so it should be a smooth drive for all of southeast Wisconsin this Saturday morning. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today's going to be partly cloudy with some isolated showers at night with a high of 75 degrees. Tonight will be partly cloudy with some isolated showers early with a low of 56 degrees. Sunday will be partly cloudy with some evening showers and storms and a high of 74 degrees. Monday's going to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers and a high of 70 degrees. Tuesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 73 degrees. And Wednesday will be mostly sunny and warm with a high of 82 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's currently 63 degrees. In Waukesha, it's currently 64 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's currently 60 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:32.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 46 to 48 ounce selected varieties Blue Bunny Dairy Dessert, 2 for $7. 8.2 to 20 ounce selected varieties CPAC Seafood, $6.99. 7 to 15 ounce selected varieties Rana Pasta or Sauce, 2 for $7. 2 to 6 count selected varieties Northern Bath or Brawny Towels, $6.99.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Your home can be more maintenance free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I have a roofing question, I contact Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
Thanks, Tom. Between the two of us, we've seen hundreds of failed roofs, along with the unfortunate consequences of water damage. Poor workmanship, improper product usage, lack of ventilation, inferior flashing detail, and loss of control due to subcontractors are some of the most common reasons for roofs failing. At J&B, our objective is not just to sell another roof. We want to educate our clients. When J&B's experienced sales staff achieves that goal, our roof systems sell themselves.
For a complimentary roof evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance free when you rely on J&B.
We can't help fix your relationship, but we can help with that leak. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. Dayton Kane and David Nason here with Abby Binder from Abby Home. You can find them at abbyhome.com.
Yeah, Abby, this week, I don't know how long it's been running, but I heard it this week. You have an ad on the radio here. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 windows. You want to tell us a little more about your windows and also the deal that you have going on?
Absolutely. So, yeah, we have buy 2 windows, get 2 free right now for the month of June, and that includes all of our options. So we have many different styles, double hung, sliders, casement windows, bay windows, bow windows. So if you want 2 bay windows, we'll get you 2 windows, 2 of those bays for free, but usually, you only have one as the focal point in your home. Everything that we sell, we really like triple pane. We do offer double pane and windows as well, but triple pane windows with our foam spacer is definitely the most energy efficient and going to give you the least amount of condensation. So that's kind of what I started the business on is our bread and butter, and that's something that I truly believe in, that triple pane does make a huge difference. With the Energy Star 7.0 that had just come out in the last year and a half, it just kind of proved the point that I've been making for the last 15 years that triple pane does matter, especially in our climate, and now it coincides with the tax credits. So, I was a little bit ahead of the curve on that one.
And those are Provia, right? Provia windows?
They are.
Yeah.
Yep, they're all made in Sugar Creek, Ohio, so they're Midwest made. There are some parts and pieces and stuff, but we have not really been affected by the tariffs for windows yet. So we'll see what happens with that. Aluminum coil, we have been affected by it, and obviously there's a lot of steel that goes into things that in our products, and roofing has been heavily affected by it, but we haven't seen it with windows yet.
Okay. And so with windows, well, we haven't gotten a text about it, but the question always comes up: installation. Do you replace and tear out the entire window? Can you just take out the sash, the working parts, and put a window in the old frame? I don't want to mess up with my interior trim. Pros and cons to each one.
That's a great question. Yeah, absolutely. So I know a lot of companies will just tell you they can pocket fit everything and they can make everything work. That's just not how we operate. We actually have over 8 different ways to install a window because it depends on what we're working with. It's not that our window changes, it's that your house may be different from someone else's. So if we're going to be looking at a 19, and it's usually based on the era of the home. Anything that's, again, older is easier. So if it's built, I would say 1980 and older, usually those are all wood in, wood out windows. If they're original, very easy, pocket fit those. If they're casements, you put an interior stop in, and away you go. So that's the older it is, it's the cheaper it's going to be to have to install them. As we get into the newer builds, the 1990s was notorious for wood windows in and aluminum clad out. Those can absolutely not be pocket fitted. So that is the kiss of death, because you have no idea if that jamb behind there is rotting, and that's all that new wood that we talk about that has a lot more moisture in it. And so if you try to pocket fit that, one, you're going to lose about 5 to 6 inches of glass space. So you're going to shrink your opening. You're going to look like you're seeing through a kaleidoscope, and then or a periscope. What is that where it shrinks the viewing? But the other thing is that you don't know what you're screwing into. So you're putting an entire window inside of another window frame, and then the outside you still have that aluminum clad out there. And so I've seen people try to do hollow bends on aluminum, and so now you're hollow bending aluminum and capping that and caulking it and relying on caulk to not separate. And it's a really bad idea. Is it more cost effective? Yes. Well, can you save your interior casing that you love? Yes. But is it the right way to do it? Absolutely not. So, and then you have your new construction vinyl, which is very popular in the early 2000s. New construction vinyl a lot of times had drywall return because they saved money by not having to put interior woodwork on. But cutting back all of that drywall is a ton of work. But remember, new construction windows are only 2 1/4 inches thick. And so all of our replacement windows are 3 1/4 inches thick. So you have to make up that difference, and you can't butt it on the outside and leave an inch exposed on the outside. So that's a whole nother type of installation. So there's a lot of different ways to install it, and you can't just have one cookie cutter way, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that installation is so critical. I've always said, most everybody's got really good products. I mean, there's some that are not so good, of course, but you can have the best, highest, most expensive anything, whether it's window, doors, anything in your home. If it's not installed correctly, it's not going to perform. So you need a good product, definitely. You need to get stuff that's going to perform, but the installation is
one place I see people trying to cut the window out is when you have EIFS on the house or this drive it. It's like a fake stucco. I can't tell you how many times we've taken a window out and that's just completely rotted behind there.
Yeah.
Like the whole wall is rotted and we have to take it all down and replace it. For some reason, that product in particular does not seem to be great in Wisconsin. Or is it just an install problem when people put them on?
As with anything, it's the install. And also they've changed how they install it, and that's a whole different show. But you're right. It is.
So if you're pocket fitting that window, you're not addressing anything that's going on behind that wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I've seen companies where they just try to tell you, well, we'll save you money. We don't have to get that invasive. It's okay. We're going to be you don't listen to Abby Home. They're just trying to, swindle you to get more money out of you. And then all of a sudden they try to just on the outside do what I like to call it a caulk and walk. And they literally just caulk it. They put the window in and they leave only a little bit of a gap and they caulk it and then off they go.
Yeah.
And they don't have any flash tape. They don't have any one by around it. They don't wrap it. They're hollow bending it, caulk and walk. And so if anyone's suggesting a pocket fit for something, if your home is built 1990 or newer, I would be very, very scared of that.
I like it. All right. Abby's on with us all this hour. AbbyHome.com, the website. Give us a call. Get your questions in for her. 855-616-1620. I see some texts coming in. We'll get to those when we come back. It is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
The Kane table from Penny Mustard is more than just a table.
It's hosted countless brunches.
It's where important documents are signed.
And where family meetings are held.
It's headquarters for homework,
craft projects,
board games,
and the wrapping of various gifts.
It's not about food.
It's about memories.
So it's gotta last.
It will, for generations to come.
The Kane dining room table with 6 encore chairs starting at $61.97 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Okay, adventurers, listen up. Fox World Travel just dropped some seriously incredible Fox Group vacation destinations for 2026. Set sail on a yacht through the Croatian coastline, join a thrilling African safari, or immerse yourself in the mecca of all flower shows in London. And for the first time, we're introducing a woman's-only tour, partnering with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel. But these are just a few of the exclusive offerings. But don't wait. They're filling up fast. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to reserve your spot today.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot Wisconsin sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $400 off your awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Hey there, Brewers fans. We've got a new way for you to watch the Brew Crew this season. FanDuel Sports Network. And now there are more ways to watch the Brewers than ever before. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream all the action. Or, new this season, Brewers Baseball is now available on Amazon Prime Video as an add-on subscription. You can also access FanDuel Sports Network through TV providers, including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. Visit GetMyHomeTeams.com to learn more.
If we don't know the answer, we know someone who does. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Dayton Kane and David Nason here. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a beautiful day, 75 and sunny, some showers to the south especially, so be ready for those. The Wisconsin Water Lantern Festival at Veterans Park today. The launch is at 8:30, so if you're looking for something to do, as long as the rain holds off, that'll be a nice event out there.
Right.
We have Abby Binder from Abby Home on with us, and the texts keep coming in. You're popular today, 855-616-1620. Please ask Abby if you always use house wrap under LP siding.
Absolutely. It's a code. You have to.
Yeah, it's required now.
All right. Another one here says for Abby, is it prohibitively expensive to replace or expand a small upstairs bath with a much larger one, including a large shower in an adjoining upstairs bedroom space? Water supply would be right there, but I suspect new drain would needed in the floor. Is that difficult and costly?
It all kind of depends on the access points. So if it's upstairs, that's going to be quite a bit harder. Obviously, you have drywalled ceilings below. Is it possible? Yes. If we can maneuver it where we can make the drain stay on the left side or the right side or the center drain, I mean, there's options there. We'd have to take a look at it. But we take walls out, like knee walls out. We take out if a shower was built in and then there's access to make it wider, we can definitely do all of that. That would not be a one-day install. That might take us a few days to do. So you might want to have an extra place to be able to shower in the meantime, because our standard job, we're in the morning and we're out that night, so that the next day you can use your shower. You don't have to go to the gym or a friend's or anywhere to shower. So that's the goal. But something like that is going to take a few extra days. And I should actually, from the last question with the LP and the house wrap, there is one workaround with that, is if your house is a zip wall system and it has the water resistant barrier on the sheathing, as long as you flash tape it, that would suffice as the water resistant barrier. Or there are ways to work around that if they're putting insulation on and they're putting the proper flash tape and sealing it properly, then some of those can work as water resistance barriers as well. So you wouldn't necessarily need essentially what we could refer to as like a house wrap all the time. There are a couple workarounds to that, so I'm not bashing if there was a way that you could. We use Green Guard, which has drainage channels in it so that water can wick out of it, and it has a permeability rating so it breathes, so it's not trapping moisture in your home. But I hope that answers that question if that was a red flag for why that question was asked.
Yeah, it's kind of become, Tyvek has become the example would be Kleenex. It's facial tissue, but everybody says Kleenex. But that's a brand, so Tyvek's kind of become that thing. But really, we're talking about house wrap, and like you said, there's a lot of different variations, whether it's the Green Guard or even fan fold insulation can work that way. So there's a lot of different products, and just the one.
Right.
And
I'm also seeing what's becoming more and more popular. I get this magazine called the Journal of Light Construction, like the GLC, and the rain screens are becoming a bigger and bigger thing. And the only hesitation I have to the rain screen, and what a rain screen is essentially creating a gap by putting like furring strips between the house and the siding. But the issue with that is there's a huge expense to that, because now you're furring in your entire house, and that's going to be a huge labor cost to do that. But that's becoming, I'm seeing a lot more of that, and I don't know if eventually that's going to be code. It's on my radar. I'm kind of watching it, but that could be coming down the chute. Yeah,
I see. It's really a good idea, and not necessarily a requirement, but behind these stone veneers, adhered stone veneer, the EIFs that you talked about before, Dayton, where these are products that water management has been an issue in the past, and they're really the only saving grace of these products, which are good products, is you have to allow the water to get out. And because water is going to get in. We've talked about it too, Abby, is that there's no siding that is 100% waterproof. And so it's about water management, flashings and things. And this rain screen products that you're talking about, yes, are just. I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future that becomes a requirement that we expand on, not just house wrap, but the water management. And it's going to keep all the water out of your walls.
All right, we need to take our final break. Abby's on for one more segment. Get your calls and texts in at 855-616-1620. Thank you for listening to The Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
When you come to our showroom, you'll find more than a dozen glass shower door displays. Now that's what you're going to want to see, because browsing a bunch of options usually spurs ideas that you've never even thought of. And when you walk around with one of our glass shower door experts, you can ask questions and get assurance. We're here to help. And after nearly 50 years in the glass shower door business, there's not a whole lot we haven't seen. So don't worry, your project's about to be put in the very best of hands. At Les's Glass Service, you can count on our experience that makes it easy to promise top-flight installation. Glass shower doors are our specialty, and we're out there humping it every day to add to our portfolio to make the next project even better than the last. this is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and near home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Making it a great Fix-It day. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
It is sponsored by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited each week. This hour we've been talking to Abby Binder from abbyhome.com. You can find them and fill out a form there or give them a call. We've talked a lot, Abby, about bathrooms, and we hit on windows, siding. What about roofing? What's going on in that world these days?
We're still working through some the storms. We've been getting some calls for people running insurance claims that way. We don't deal with insurance just because it's become an absolute cluster, I would say, with the way that insurance companies are just depreciating the roofs. So we because of the way that the insurance companies have redesigned how much they're going to cover on your home, and if you get hail damage, then you get eventually we'll start getting the micro tears in your shingles, and then you start getting water issues and drywall issues in your home and leaks. We have actually started offering metal roofing now because it makes sense to go with a stone-coated metal because you never have to worry about hail damage, and over time it actually becomes a better investment because the likelihood for hail damage on a stone-coated metal roof is going to be so low. It's going to be so hard. It would have to be like the size of a baseball to affect it. And because insurance is no longer covering the majority of a roof to get replaced, and if they are, you're going to have to pay out of pocket if you want anything quality, that the investment up front becomes worth it in the end to consider the metal now. And it's not the barn roof standing seam. It actually looks like shingles. And with the cost versus value report, you recoup about 50% of that right away when you put the roof on. And you actually, if you install that roof with the battens, kind of like we were just talking about last segment with the rain screen, you install these on battens and it creates a micro attic. And by creating a micro attic, you can actually save up to 20% on your energy bills by having a metal roof. So if you plan on staying in your house, obviously if you're selling in the next 2 years like we talked about, it's definitely not worth it for you. But if you plan on staying in your house, it's a huge investment and it's definitely worth it. And we can kind of go through it and show you many different ways that it is, but it has to be the right fit where this is your home. This is for you. It's not for the next owner.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet you it could become a selling point. I know you said if you long term for sure, but there's probably buyers out there who walk up to a house and they just had a new metal roof like that put on. You're telling them that they're never going to have to replace the roof. There's a lot of people and inspections. It's like, oh, what's the roof look like? Oh, that is just a roof and foundation. Right. And the thing is, they can walk down in the basement if it's not finished, and they can see that, and they can, okay. I never let people up on the roof with me when I'm doing a home inspection, so I usually come down and say, here's some pictures that I just took. So they can't see it, and so it's always an unknown. And if you told them that you have that roof, that would be a huge selling point.
I have a question on that, though. So you said it would take a baseball-sized hail to do damage to a steel roof or a metal roof. We've had that.
Yeah.
So then what happens? It's not going to leak, right? It's just dented at that point.
Correct. It's aesthetics. I mean, insurance. So if you look at the pivot tables that insurance companies are selling, and I don't think we have as much time to go through it, but essentially what they're doing is they're depreciating the value of your roof every single year. If you look at asphalt shingles, by year 10 or 12, you're down to 50% that they're only covering. If you look at a metal roof, they're actually still maintaining it at about 80% they're going to cover of it.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying is that they're going to insurance is going to maintain the integrity of your roof longer by having the metal. And so the upfront cost is more, but you're actually not depreciating the value of it the way that you are with asphalt. And I mean, if you look at the videos of the way that they've actually had baseball-sized hail hitting the stone-coated metal, it's actually the metal roof has pulverized the hail. So the likelihood of it actually affecting the roof is you'd have to have like a lot of it for a consistent amount of time to be able to hurt that roof. Where asphalt, we know how vulnerable it can be. We've seen it. Mm-hmm. And that's what keeps storm chasers from Illinois and everywhere else coming up here and then running off with their taillight warranties that say they'll cover the whole roof for free. Be very leery of that too, because the minute that they put that roof on and they're just going to put the, whatever generic products on, they're out the door, and you have a leak, good luck. Yeah. Try to find them.
Yeah. AbbeyHome.com is the website. Abby, always good having you on the show. Thanks for being there. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Abby.
Yeah, you guys as well.
All right, David. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
We do it every week, 7 to 9 a.m. The Fix It Show on WTMJ. Rose Gray and the Fox World Travel Show coming up next.
This has been the Fix It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Imagine waking up to the updated